Welcome to the Tip Sport Arena, Pardubice, Czech Republic. In the introduction of the Czech women's team, they will take on the United States of America. USA team versus the Czech Republic. Women's standings right now. Again, 6 teams, they'll play 5 games. Czech Republic has played 3 of their round-robin games. 2 wins, 1 overtime win. They've got 8 points in first place. Slovakia has played 4 games, 2 wins, 1 overtime loss. That one to the Czech Republic, and 1 loss. They lost to the United States. They've been second with 7. Canada, 2 wins and a loss, 6 points. USA, they've played 3 games, 1 win, 1 overtime win, 1 loss, 5 points. Those 4 teams will be the ones bearing something spectacularly unprecedented, unusual, unexpected to happen. Czech Republic, Slovakia, Canada, USA will be the teams that will move on to the semifinals out of this group. They'll play the final round-robin games tomorrow. Right now, as this one's being played, Canada is playing Italy over in the small hall. Canada and the Czech Republic will play tomorrow. That'll be a big game. USA will play Great Britain tomorrow. USA will be big favorites going into that. And Italy will play Slovakia. So the Slovakians would be favorites, although anything can happen once you hit the floor. So tomorrow is the last day of round-robin competition for the men, or for the women rather. Then they'll go into the semifinals and the finals. The men finish up their competition today in terms of the preliminary round robins. They'll start all the crossovers tomorrow. In goal for the United States, it's going to be Carly Beckering. You see the Czech team. Play is underway. Again, the Americans in the predominantly blue uniforms, Czechs the white and the red trim. The United States could move into first place with a victory today. For the Czechs, if they win, they will take first place in the women's, which means they would play the 4th place team, which would be most likely the USA. But still a few more games to be played, and that's the way it would shape up, barring some upsets tomorrow. Or over in the small hall happening now, Canada and Italy. If everything plays true to form, that's the way it would work. But we've got 44.5 minutes to decide what happens here this afternoon in Pardubice. Lindsay Wild around behind her own goal. The Czechs have looked very strong in this game. Ball bouncing all the way down, scooped up by Sakovska, Katarina Sakovska in goal for the Czechs. The only blemish in the Czechs' record is they were forced to a shootout yesterday against the Slovaks, but it's a game that they dominated throughout most of the time. Here they come, stopping up, knocked off the stick of Shisheva, dynamic player for the Czech Republic. Ledleva threw it out in front, taken away by Stedman. Stedman with a run down the right side. Stedman offside at the blue line. Player on the left side in just ahead of the play. There's Julia Bronson. Played a minute 15. Just the first period. Vasinova got it up ahead to Horalkova, puts it in around behind the goal, comes back to Horalkova. Czechs have it down in American territory. Tachkova. She lost control of it. It comes here to the near boards. Czechs on it first. Play it back down in. All bouncing in the corner. And the Czechs come up with it. Back at the point. Shot is in. Beckering makes the save. Ball goes to the corner. Beckering reaching for it. Finally able to cover it. Took 2 or 3 stabs at it. Able to hold on. Shot coming in from Nemcheva. Talked about her hard shot. There it is. Beckering makes the save. And there's a scramble to her right. Eventually able to cover it up. And we get a whistle with 2:05 gone in the first period. That shot whistled wide of the goal. Ball comes out here towards the blue line, kept in by the Czechs. Iksova got it down to Vezinchka. Vezinchkova down the right side. Rulova behind the goal. The Americans come up with it. Idonitis was able to move it out for the Americans. Played in by Stedman. Czechs to go back to get it. Back at center ice. Americans keep it in. Center ice. Okay, I got one in. Here come the Czechs. Shot saved by Beckering. By rule, no more than 3 references to ice, puck, or skate. Been doing well this week. Gone through most games without any. Talking a little ice reference there a moment ago. Shisheva got free on the left side. She's been a star of this tournament. Denisa Shisheva of the Czech Republic. Vasinova, the shot deflected, then over the top of the goal. Just missed the far post and then put over the top and out of play. It was not deflected. Went right off of Pototskova in front. There's Pototskova swinging at it. Looks like she had the open net. Vasinova around the right side. Cuts in, gets the first shot. Pototskova chipped it over the top of the goal and over the glass, out of play. Karen Levin loses it behind the goal. Manhatova. Strong player for the Czechs, still working. Ball comes free, gets by the Czech player at center. Vasinova chasing it down. There'll be a flooring call against the U.S. 3:52 gone first period. No score. Only scoring chances so far belonging to the Czechs. That ball went up into the mesh, out of play. It went right down to Sikovska, so no flooring. Rulova will play it back. to Frishova. The Czechs begin the run up on the left side. Try and get it to Hicksova. Hicksova gains the blue line, then dumps it in, comes around here on the near side. Americans are on it first, but Rulova pins her player to the boards. Rulova off the boards, but it comes to the Americans. Rulova cut off Kelly Foley and stole the ball away. Rulova all the way in around behind the goal, comes out the other side. The Americans are on it. Ganazio up at the blue line, no further. Czechs have it again. Shot comes in over the top of the goal from Priglova. And again, the Americans just send it down the length of the floor. They're saying it touched the Czech player, so no flooring. Czechs come up with it. Up ahead. Ledlova. Aneta Ledlova working against Mesler. To Shisheva. Shisheva threw it in front, comes back to Ledlova. Shisheva was calling for it. They like to go down low. That went off an American stick. Ledlova working out in front. Ledlova with a shot. Went off a player in front, came here to the near corner. Americans under siege right now. Hand pass, face-off will come outside the blue line. 5:46 gone the first period. Played 5 minutes of it in the USA end of the floor, maybe more. It's a chance for Ledlova. Stolen away. Manhatova. She knocked down the American player. Manhatova is going to pick up a penalty. Talked about this yesterday. One of the best players in this tournament, but also one of the most penalized. Very physical player. Manhatova called for holding. The Americans go on the power play. Chance to try and get a little bit of offense going. Rebecca Dobson will take the face-off. She had a goal yesterday against Team Canada. Czech players down right at the face-off circle, shaken up. Fans are whistling. They want the whistle to go. Now the referee will blow the whistle.
2 minutes for holding.
See if we can catch what happens. Took an elbow from Dobson right to the side of the head as they were battling. That's what it looked like. And she comes up holding her midsection, so obviously the elbow that we saw was not what caused the injury. That's Rulova, captain. She'll go to the bench. Dobson wins the faceoff back at the blue line. Lindsay Wild. McEwen. The shot deflected wide. Wild gets there first for the Americans. Nemcheva. And cleared down the floor by Halova, the Czech Republic. Beckering out to play it. Gives it to Dobson. Back to Dobson. They'll move it up the floor slowly, trying to catch up there. There's Matachkova. Czechs get it. That came out over the red line. The Americans have to clear the zone. That'll allow the Czechs to take their time, bring it out. With 1:02 left to go on the power play. Pass over the far side's a bad one, and the Americans will bring it in. Stedman And around behind the goal. Taken by Volkova. Out at center. Americans have it. Down low. Bronson. Back off high. Levin moves it in. Bronson shot. That just missed on the far post. In the corner. Foley. Turning. Back at the point. Levin. Weak shot wide of the goal from Julia Bronson. USA maintains control. Levin. Bronson. Pushed out a little further. To Levin. Comes back to Levin. He'll shoot it, looking for a deflection. Bronson's in front. That just missed. To the side of the goal. Ball goes up in the air. Knocked out of the air with a high stick. Penalty is over. Czechs are back to full strength. Here's Levin. Just looking to get a deflection, and it comes to Bronson, and her shot just misses. Czechs with it behind their own goal. They'll back it up again. Rulova shaken up a moment ago. Back at it there now. Rulova gets it here in the near boards. To Priblova on the far side. Nemcheva back in her own end. That stopped at the blue line, cleared back in by the U.S. Comes right back to Nemcheva. Coming off the bench, Nanardova. Off the boards, ball sits right there. Taken by Strohmeyer. U.S. clear it down the floor. Whistle goes. .936 gone. First period, no score. Czech Republic, United States, women's ball hockey from the Czech Republic. Ball goes high off the glass, stays in play. Czechs on it first. Nanherdova back at the blue line. It's going to be another penalty holding. And this is getting to be an issue for Luska Nanherdova. Another penalty. Not helping them when their best player, one of their best players, is spending a lot of time in the penalty box. Not sure what happened. Karl Manhart down at the Czech bench, very upset at the officials as some message was relayed to him. Americans again on the power play. Stewart Back to Amber Moore. Moore, shot over the top of the goal. Strohmeyer taking a whack at it. Goes to the boards. Americans hold it in. Good work there by Eileen Mesler. Back to Moore. Stewart. Shot. Save by Sikowska. U.S. moving around nicely. Moore over to Stewart. Stewart gets away a good low shot. Sikowska with the glove save. Kosinova played it around the boards but couldn't get it out. It'll be kept in by the U.S., but there's a bad pass, forces them outside the zone. Did it to themselves that time. And coming off the boards with it, Kosinova. Kosinova will turn, bring it back into her own end. Back to Nemcheva. Back to Kosinova. Ledlova. Short-handed, they'll kill some time now down in the U.S. end. Ledlova. 3 U.S. players in there. Can't get it away from her. She'd be content to hold it. She does. She'll get a face-off. Great work by Aneta Ledlova of the Czech Republic. U.S. will change up their power play. Czechs will change their forwards. Ledlova, Kriblova come off. Replaced by Vitachkova and Shishava. Down to 45 seconds to go in the power play for the United States. They'll clear it in. Back first, Shishava. Able to hold it in over on the far side. Good work. Stephanie Caban. Comes back to her at the blue line. Backhands it down a little bit lower. 20 seconds to go now in the power play. Comes loose. Rulova. She's got some time. Just 9 seconds to go in the power play. She'll hold it. Back to her defense. Manherdova back out on the floor. She's got the ball now. In over the blue line. Manherdova. Taken away. Bronson. Up ahead, tried to get it to Lindsay Bittler. The ball goes down. Bittler overruns the ball, and the Czechs come out with it. It's Manherdova. Knocks it loose. Iodonidis plays it in for the U.S. Hustling back. Herzigova. For the Czechs. Up through the middle. Long pass, that's not going to connect, so it'll be a flooring call. Flooring call against the Czech Republic. Aneta Ledlova for the Czechs. Paige Harrington for the U.S., number 44. Down to 2:23 left to go first period. No score. It was all Czechs early. Americans, on the strength of a couple of power plays, have had some time and some opportunities. Now we're back to 5-on-5. Kept in momentarily by the U.S. Harrington missed it. Now she's got it over to the far side. Dumped in. In there first, Strohmeyer threw it out in front. Taken away by Palova. But another penalty to the Czechs, this time interference. And there goes Teresa Pelova. She knocked down the U.S. player in front of the goal. So, third straight power play for the U.S. Krasinova behind the goal has it taken away. Dixon. Dixon will stop in the corner. Back to Dobson. Moore doesn't shoot. Dobson in front off a check stick. That's Ledlova out there to help kill this penalty. American players lost their stick. That was Dixon. She's got it back again. Moore. Dobson, shot. Blocker save made by Sakowska. The ball goes out of play in the corner. Dobson shot. Katerina Zakowska, goalie for the Czech Republic. Moore able to hold it in. Dixon back to Moore. Down the corner, Dixon. 1 minute to go, opening period. Still waiting for our first goal. Americans here on the power play, tip it in front. Checks calmly, clear it down the floor. Moore forced back. It's 25 seconds to go in the period. The Americans want to get another opportunity. They're going to have to hurry. They'll chip it in. Back first. The checks. Manhardova. That gets out. 5 seconds to go in the period. And the first 15 minutes are done. No score, just 11 seconds in that penalty to carry over into the second period. Czechs, United States. Women's hockey, no score after 15 minutes. We'll be back with the second period in 10 minutes' time. Please join us then.
Zeptáme se Terky Palové za pár minutek od něj. Den Pardubického kraje už klepe na dveře. V pátek 9. června od 10 do 21 hodin se můžete na Tančínském a Komenském náměstí v Pardubicích těšit na bohatý program. Prohlídky úřadu, dobročinný jarmark, ukázka práce záchranných složek, regionální potraviny a řemeslníci. A ve 20 hodin na Tančínském náměstí koncert Heleny Vondráčkové. Den Pardubického kraje v pátek 9. června. www.pardubickýkraj.cz U naší kamery a u mého mikrofonu je Terka Palová, já se zeptám na otázku. Na první třetinu poměrně dost vyloučení. Čím to je?
Každopádně nevím, jak na to odpovědět. Chyba bude určitě náš, jo. Musíme si napadat větší pozor, ale strkat to hodně sil a musíme bojovat.
Bavili jste se nějak s Papama o tom, že by to vaše utkání mohlo být pod takovou odvetou za tím jediné škodlivnutí chlapů na mistrovství světa, kde prohráli se Spojenými státy?
Určitě ne, s klukama nejsme nějak v velkém kontaktu. Hrajeme to sami na sebe a soustředíme se teda pouze na sebe.
Jak se ti dneska hraje? Máte za sebou 3 utkání. Ve dvou jste jasně dominovali, jedno ze Slovenskem, to bylo hezky až na nájezdy. Jaký to je dneska utkání? Překvapili něčím Američanky?
Nepřekvapili, letěli na nás tak, jak jsme si mysleli. Musíme bojovat, zápas čeká tím těžší a musíme to bojovat.
Tohle je Terka Palová, tak já ji pouštím do kabiny, aby se připravila na druhou třetinu utkání.
technology. Hlavní partneři mistrovství světa v hokejbalu jsou JTEC, KYB Manufacturing, PlayStation, služby města Pardubice, Battery Shop, T6 Power, Quiz, Marvel, AML Holding, Radegast, stavební firma Jičmínek, Czech Insurance Agency, Nissan Auto In. Partnery Českomoravského svazu hokejbalu jsou Sabe, Střída Sport, Merch 93, Fischer Hackett, Stillman, Hayden Sport, CCM a Vidware. Hlavními mediálními partnery mistrovství světa hokejbalu jsou Česká televize a Český rozhlas radiožurnál. Partnery mistrovství světa hokejbalu jsou AAA Auto, Štojbl, léčebné Lázně Bohdaneč, Keto Diet, Vodovody a kanalizace Pardubice, Explozia, Charlotte TNT Trade, Auto, Energie AG Bohemia, Marknet, Calypso, ČPP Service, Správa a údržba silnic Pardubického kraje, Napatrax, Comia, EM Stav, Astex a Asprat, Elektroservice Model, Finet Pardubice, Tekam, Mados MP, SAM Litomyšl, Bauxet CZ a Kopcentrum. Dodavateli mistrovství světa v hokejbalu jsou Rozvojový fond Pardubice, ABK, Edera, Konekta, Flamy, Odrážovka, Ditfood, České dráhy, Rosengard, Patapov, Red Tide, Bonde Catering, Chargebox, Holfloor, Tiburon, Kohinor, Berser, Finlandia a Frenzel. Regionálními partnery mistrovství světa v hokejbalu jsou Aquacentrum Pardubice, Atrium Palác Pardubice, Deep Vision, destinační společnost Východní Čechy, Kulturní centrum Pardubice, Dopravní podnik Pardubice, McDonald's, Dostihový spolek Pardubice, HC Dynamo Pardubice, Letiště Pardubice, Golf Resort Lutická Hora a regionální rozvojová agentura Pardubického kraje. Včera jsme se v našem mistrovském kalendáři odškrtli hrací den s pořadovým číslem 5. A také tento den byl plný nádherných branek a krásných zákroků. Tak se pojďme podívat na top 3 góly a top 3 zákroky 5. hracího dne. Je na co se dívat. Naše hráčky na šampionátu nastřelili neuvěřitelných 19 branek ve 3 zápasech, ale dneska bohužel zatím ta druhá desítka nepadla. Já věřím, že ve třetí třetině to padne, tak si teďka pojďme připomenout to, co jsme viděli v prvních 15 minutách. se statistika tam doufujeme, že ta trojka je konečným číslem. Vyloučení USA 0, Česká republika 3. Jdeme do druhé třetiny. Areno, jste připravení? Já nevím, jestli jste mě slyšeli. Areno, jste připravení?
Shots on goal in that first period, rather, favoring the United States 6-5. 11 seconds left to go on the Czech penalties. We start this second period. No score after the first 15 minutes of play. Czech Republic, United States of America, women's competition here at the World Ball Hockey Championships. Czech stopped at the blue line. The U.S. bring it up the floor. Penalties over. Back to even strength now. Nemchova is down for the Czechs on the blue line. She collided with an American player, Katerina Nemchova. Trainers are out quickly to check on her. And not sure what happened there, to be honest, folks. If we can pick it up here. American player goes down. Nemchova throws off the gloves and drops to the floor. The referees are discussing it. There's no penalty called. Again, happening now next door at the small hall as Nemchova gets back to her feet. It's a hand from the Czech supporters here at Tipsport. Holding her what appears to be her left wrist as she goes to the bench. Started to say another game happening now next door at the small hall, Canada and Italy. We'll update you on that game in just a moment. One to nothing Canada in that game. Same start time as this one. Ball down the corner. Nobody able to move it. Just starting the second period in that game as well, Canada and Italy. Ball comes in front. And Sikorsky will cover it up. April Drake has scored for Canada. Assist to Traversa and Pickford. Tamara Pickford playing now for Canada. Intending to be just an assistant coach, was put on the roster as an emergency player, and Canada's lost two of their key players, Chloe Tinkler and Dawn Tulk, both that with knee injury, so Pickford is playing and picked up an assist on that goal. Still no score here between these two teams. Right from the face-off, a shot came in, and Sikorsky had to be quick to make the save. Hicksova got it over to Frichova, but the U.S. have it again. Simpson. Finally The Czechs move it out down the floor. Racing back, Stewart. I'm sorry, that's Gannazio, number 12 for the U.S. Over for Bittler. Bittler running down the left side, catches up to it in the corner. Bittler. Simpson's out in front. Bittler to Simpson, to the side of the goal, cleared away. Not out. U.S. right back in. That's picked off. Hiskova down the floor. They'll change, will the Czechs? Amber Moore was looking for Strohmeyer. That pass beyond her reach. We get a whistle and go back down into the U.S. end for a face-off. Horolkova out in front. Shot was blocked. Matochkova's got it again. A little give and go. It looked like maybe Horolkova could have shot it. Said she passed it up. Now she shoots it. Bounces around. Penalty coming up to the United States. First Czech power play. Oh, hang on. Calling both players no. Interference. She pointed at the Czech player who was interfered with. Oh, wait, no, I think I may have got it right the first time. We're going to send them both. Both teams picking up penalties. And Manherdova gone again. Her third penalty for the Czechs. Amber Moore for the United States. So they'll play 4-on-4. The U.S. win the faceoff, get it into the corner. Lindsay Wild moves it up the right side. Funt, Tiffany Funt, comes back towards center, kept in by the U.S. Funt. Funt with a good move, gets herself free. Ball comes in. Funt tips it on a little further. Knocked down by Sukovska, but kept in by the U.S. Now the Czechs have it. Rulova. Rulova gains the zone. Chased down by Dobson. Rulova and Dobson going in to help out. Skovanchikova. 4 players in here. They'll hold it against the wall. It'll be a face-off. U.S. wholesale change. They'll send out 4 new players. Good chance for the U.S. balls in the air, and Tiffany Funt just pokes it wide. U.S. don't get it out. Kept in by Patochkova. The Czechs, again, we're 4-on-4. Shisheva back at the blue line. Shot redirected and around behind the goal. On it first is Shisheva. Back at the blue line. Kriblova. Shot came in and was redirected in front by Patochkova. And a good save made by Carolee Beckering on that redirection. Ball changes direction there as it was tipped. Beckering covers it up. Terrific save. As you see, the ball was coming in about waist high and then got knocked straight down. From the blue line again, it changes direction. Swinging at it but unable to make contact was Peleva. Nemcheva is back out there. Didn't get much on that shot. Penalties are over. Both teams back to even strength. Rulova gets the return pass. And Herdova has it taken away by Moore. As far as center and over the red line, Czechs will take it there along the boards. Nemcheva still loose at center. Moore has it. Moore mishandled it. Some sloppy play right now in the neutral zone. Trying to break in. There's Horalkova. Shot comes in. Beckering with the save. What a chance for Menard. And Herdova. It's Horalkova first for the Czechs. This gets loose and then throws it out to Herdova. Beckering just gets back over to the left side in time to cover it. Face-off won by the Czechs. Put in front. It was tipped by Herdova, but into the corner. She'll track it down over on the far side. Horalkova. Shot was blocked. Picked up over on the far boards by Lindsay Bittler. Bittler trying to get it out, but she is stopped by Railova. Scores! Petachkova. A number of opportunities earlier. The U.S. had a chance to move it out. Couldn't get it out over the blue line. Great job by Railova. You see number 88. She did the work out at center to keep the ball in. Petachkova. Little wrist shot from just inside the circle. And the screen set up in front by Menherdova. 1-0, Czech Republic. 5:46 into the second period. Here they come looking for more. Shot is put wide. Again, the U.S. can't get it out over the red line. Kept in. Ledlova. Czechs coming again. Shot saved by Beckering. She stands up and stops Ryblova. Ball rolls down into the Czech end of the floor. Spinning away, Kazinova. Kazinova will take it out herself. Kazinova clears it in and behind the U.S. goal. Moore slow to move on it, getting in there quickly was Hicksova. Stole it. Or Hicksova against Moore. Hicksova goes to the boards. Czechs stay with it. They throw it out in front. Ball is loose. Cleared away by the U.S. Funt. Dixon. Dixon trying to cut towards the goal. Dixon is knocked down. And that will be a penalty. Number 21, Kazinova. Karolina Kazinova.
Čas 27:04. Z týmu České republiky vyloučená hráčka s číslem 21 Karolina Kosinová a 2 minuty za hrubost. 9:27:04. Penalty for player number 21 Karolina Kosinová from Team Czech Republic. 2 minutes for roughing.
U.S. on the power play again. They'll set up. Stedman. Shot is put wide of the goal. And Herdova will clear it for the Czechs. Giveaway inside the blue line. Ledlova has it. Looking for Van Herdova. A couple of good players up front there for the Czech Republic. Now Van Herdova goes off, replaced by Pribleva. So much depth on this Czech team. So many talented ball hockey players. Ronson played it in. Then behind the goal. Working there is Foley. Leaves it for Funt. Back to Foley. Back at the blue line. Moore. That's Wild, number 3. Funt down low. Backhand to the front of the goal. Stopped by Sikovska. U.S. unable to hold it in. Got past Wild. Back at the point. Stolen away by Pilova.
Tým České republiky hraje v plném počtu. Tým Czech Republic is playing at full strength.
Penalties over again. The Americans fail to capitalize on a power play opportunity. So it stays 1-0 for the Czechs. Over in the small hall, the Canadian women's team has taken a 2-0 lead over Italy as the ball is cleared down the floor. Flooring call against the U.S. Second Canadian goal scored by Francis. Czechs circling the goal, out in front, shot, big save by Beckering. Potachkova was left all alone in the slot. Was able to get away a great shot and a better save by Carly Beckering. Along the boards down below us. Thrown back in by Nemchova. Another penalty. This time, it'll go to the U.S. This time it will be a Czech power play. Erika Simpson heading to the penalty box. There's that chance for Potachkova. A great save by Beckering. Ball goes out of play. Face-off will stay in the U.S. zone. Simpson 2 for slashing. This very powerful Czech power play goes to work. Nemcheva. She's got it back at center. Nemcheva. Zinova back to Nemcheva. They'd love to set her up for the one-timer. She'll take it. Save made by Beckering. Low, accurate shot from Nemcheva. U.S. battling along the boards. U.S. player hauled down. It'll be a penalty to the Czech Republic on the power play. So much for the advantage for the Czechs. Go to some 4-on-4 play. As each team has a penalty. Kribleva going for the Czechs. Minute 19 left to go in the American penalty to Erika Simpson. Czech Republic win the faceoff. And Herdova into the U.S. bench.
Penalty for player number 26, Vendula Copilova from Team Czech Republic, 2 minutes for tripping.
Potachkova to the front of the goal, was trying to get it to Shisheva. Shisheva behind the goal. Moore had lost her stick, so Shisheva takes advantage of that, steps out, gets a shot save made by Beckering. Scramble in front of Beckering. In behind the goal, Beckering dives on it to the side. Play will stop right there. You see Moore losing her stick, and Shisheva says, okay, I'll just keep going then. And then this scramble ensued. It was blocked by the American defense, and it comes to the side of the goal, and Beckering covers it up. McQueen for the U.S. doing good work down the corner, got it out in front, but then is taken away by Ruleva. Ruleva in over the blue line. Ruleva trying to get it to her forehand. Now she'll throw it out in front. Americans are there. Another penalty coming up. Non-stop penalties in this game. Already a player in the penalty box for each team. The U.S. will go Paige Harrington. In 10 seconds, the first U.S. penalty will end, and we'll go from a 5-on-4 power play to, a 4-on-3 power play to 4-on-4, and then back to a Czech power play, unless there are more penalties or goals. Right now, 4-on-3 power play for the Czechs. From center, long shot hits the glass. Potachkova behind the goal. They try a little give and go. Comes right through the crease. Taken by the U.S. Now we are at even strength. Stolen away. Shot from Dobson, and coming out to cut down the angle, Zakowska makes a good save. Dobson again. That hit the crossbar and the post, dropped down in the crease and cleared away. What a chance for the U.S. U.S. will touch it up, and we'll get another penalty. Hooking Right, so the Czechs are at full strength. Another U.S. penalty. Keep all this straight. Czechs, 2-player advantage. It's going to be Rebecca Dobson, who just had that great chance a moment ago for the U.S. Call for the hooking penalty. So now 5-on-3, Czech Republic, leading by 1, late here in the second period. Just over 2 minutes to go. Shot was blocked. Shisheva down low. Matachkova at the blue line, hard shot. Beckering made the save. It's poked loose, and then in behind the goal. The Czechs come close. A shoe down in front of the goalkeeper. Shot scores. Number 18, Pavlina Horolkova. Ball comes over here to the right. Quick shot between the pads of Beckering. On the 5-on-3 power play, the Czechs have opened up a 2-goal lead. So now a 5-on-4 power play for the Czechs. Ledlova offside at the blue line. Minute and 30 seconds left to go in the second period.
Goal for Team Czech Republic, scored by player number 18, Pavlina Horolkova, assisted by player number 14, Denisa Křižová. Match score is 0-2.
Still on the power play, shot off the shoulder of Beckering and out of play. That's Nemcheva. She hurt her wrist earlier, didn't show on that. That was a good hard shot. Next door, Canada continues to lead Italy 2-1 or 2-0. The other women's game happening right now. Zinova, shot scores! Volkova, 17. With the goal. There's Volkova, the big wind-up. Through a screen. No chance for Beckering. A couple of power play goals here late in the second has opened it up for the Czechs. Minute 6 to go in the second. Three to nothing now. That means, at least for now, the penalty boxes have been emptied.
Gól týmu České republiky, střela hráčka s číslem 17, Veronika Volková, asistovala hráčka s číslem 14.
Shot over the top of the goal. And we will get another penalty as Rulova came flying in there. U.S. player is down. Rulova wanted to offer assistance. The officials get her out of there. Let's get the professionals in there. Training staff out quickly, as well as the medical emergency people on hand here at Tipsport. And there you see Rulova, the big push in the back. Oh my goodness. A hard hit to the boards, neck snap back, and immediately medical assistance on the scene. And it has gone quiet at Tipsport. 51 seconds to go in the second period. You see the crowd there Some of the Czech fans looking very concerned. Some of the American fans sitting over there looking concerned as well. Everybody concerned for the American player who went hard into the end boards. Zakowska, the Czech goalie. A lot of concern on the USA bench. See movement by the USA player. She's now rolling her over onto her back. Any movement at all at this point is a good sign. Certainly a hopeful sign. Immediately see the concern by Michaela Rulvas, the player who ran into the U.S. player, sent her into the boards. She immediately stopped, and as they say, she wanted to offer assistance, but the training staff quickly moved her out of the way. They say let the professionals take over, but the concern certainly was there. One more. Still tough to see the number of the U.S. player, so we won't speculate as to who it was. Carly Beckering, the U.S. goalkeeper. She's looking on. Notice one of the medical personnel down behind the goal is on the walkie-talkie, which makes me think they may be calling for the stretcher as a precaution, if nothing else. Let's hope that's all it is. Trying to get the gate open between the benches. So they're going to bring out, I suspect, the stretcher. Here it comes. They've put Kayla McEwen's picture up on the big screen. Leading me to believe that that is the player who is down. Do not have that confirmed at this point. Somewhat surprised that they haven't simply sent the players to their dressing room at this point and add those 51 seconds to the third period, as this is obviously going to be a lengthy delay.
Z důvodu zranění byla ukončena druhá třetina a zbytek času bude dohrán na začátku třetí třetiny.
I believe they are going to
USA player is second period ended.
Okay, they are going to end the second period there and come back with the third in just a few moments. We will step aside here. We will come back when we are ready for the third period, when they have attended to the USA player. Until then, we'll be back.
Garanti mistrovství světa v hokejbalových jsou ministerstva školství, mládeže a tělovýchovy, agentura Czech turismu, Pardubický kraj, statutární město Pardubice, generálními partnery mistrovství světa v hokejbalových jsou Česká podnikatelská pojišťovna a Finex Technology. Hlavní partneři mistrovství světa v hokejbalových jsou JTEC, KYB Manufacturing, PlayStation, služby města Pardubic, Battery Shop, T6 Power, Quiz, Marvel, AML Holding, Radegast, stavební firma Inženýrek,
už klepe na dveře. V pátek 9. června od 10 do 21 hodin se můžete na Pernštejnském a Komenského náměstí v Pardubicích těšit na bohatý program. Prohlídky úřadu, dobročinný jarmark, ukázka práce záchranných složek, regionální potraviny a řemeslníci. A ve 20 hodin na Pernštejnském náměstí koncert Heleny Vondráčkové. Jen Pardubického kraje v pátek 9. června. www.pardubic.
We come back to Tip Sport, Pardubice in the Czech Republic for this third period. The game between the United States and the Czech Republic. Women's ball hockey, we can confirm that the injured U.S. player was indeed number 99, Kayla McEwen. She was taken off the floor in a stretcher, and she will be taken to a nearby medical facility where she will be looked after. Scary moment right at the end of that second period. Five-minute penalty was called on the play. The Czech player, Kayla Rulova. Correct that. It was Herksova. I said Rulova towards the end of the period as well, but it was number 12, Hicksova. Not Rulova, Hicksova. 5-minute penalty. 5-minute power play for the U.S. as we get started here in the what is really going to be the end of the second period. We'll play the last 51 seconds of that, and then they'll sound the horn and we'll start the third period. So this is actually the end of the second here now.
For voting, the penalty is served by player number 9,
5 minutes for boarding is the penalty to Hicksova. 5 seconds to go in the second period here. Just 1 second, there goes the horn. They'll change ends. 4:09 left to go in the power play for the U.S. There's 51 seconds left to go in the period when the injury occurred. And they sent the teams to their respective dressing rooms. Came back, played the last 51 seconds. Now we'll switch over and start the third period. Next door, it's in the third period, Canada and Italy. The other women's game being played now. Canada, a couple goals in the third period. Lead it 4-0. Zakowska and Beckering change ends. For the U.S. Just under 4 to go now in the 5-minute power play. They gain the zone. Dobson, long shot. Stopped and cleared down the floor by the Czechs. Quickly up the floor. Nemchova got a stick on that and cleared it back in to the U.S. end. 11. Poor dump in, knocked down right at the blue line by the Czechs, and Rulova will clear it in. Brought in by Dobson. Dobson turning. 3 minutes to go in the penalty to the Czechs. Dobson down into the corner. Back to Simpson. Moore shot, deflected wide. On the rebound was Kosanova. U.S. come up with it. Moore off the boards. Stewart with a shot. It goes up in the air, and reaching up and grabbing it was Zakowska. Now we've got a Czech player down and injured, Karolina Kosinova, and she'll require some attention. They've got hit with the follow through on that shot by Stewart. Pretty sure that was the case. Minute 47 gone here in the third period. Backhand, that just went wide from Shisheva. Still a power play. The penalty was called to the U.S. on that. So 4-on-4. And Herdova, shot was blocked. She's got to hustle back to try and hold it in. Kick free by the U.S. U.S. player tripped up. No call on the play. U.S. bench not happy. And Herdova. They'll gain the offensive zone. Do the checks. And Herdova along the boards drops it back. It's 4-on-4. Working it in. Shot. Save made by Beckering. Sounds like it may have hit her in the mask. Down the floor by the U.S., and that'll be a flooring call against the United States. 1:25 left to go in that 5-minute major. 1:03 left to go in the U.S. penalty. And there's Van Herdova looking like she got away with one. I should mention as well that as they took Kayla McEwen off the floor on the stretcher, she raised up her right arm and gave the big thumbs up to the crowd here and to her teammates. Just showing that on the big screen. The U.S. now have McEwen's jersey hanging up behind their bench. Dumped in, Bickering out to play it. Back to get it. Karen Levin along the boards, kept in by the Czechs. That's stopped at the blue line. Rulova. The USA penalty is now over. They've got a very, very brief power play. Just a dozen seconds left to go in the penalty, that major that was called at the end of the second period. And now all penalties are over. We're back to 5-on-5. In over the blue line. U.S. on it first. Sarah Reddington. Down into the corner. Dixon behind the goal. Well, that was Stewart, 13. Stewart's on it again, trying to get it out in front. Cleared away by Priblova. Battle for it over along the boards. Kept in. Reddington down in behind the goal. Stewart is there. Stewart. She and Horalkova were battling down there along the boards. And Herdova will take it for the Czechs. Down the floor, it's going to go right on goal. Beckering's got to scoop it up and get a face-off from the U.S. end. 5:02 gone now in the third period. 3-0. Czech Republic leading. 5-0 now for Canada over Italy. Drake, Francis. Well, let's check that. Italy has scored, so it's 5-1. Once again, fix it. 4-1 for Canada. Drake and Francis. Pickford, Skeets for Canada. For Letty Blomberg for Italy. 4-1 for Canada. That one getting late in the third period. We're a little bit behind here because of that lengthy delay due to the injury at the end of the second period to the U.S. player. Flooring against the U.S. Now that center off the boards. U.S. try and get it in over the blue line. They're stopped up. Back come the Czechs. Kosinova. We'll leave it there behind the goal. Czechs just cycling it now. They were mixed up on who was going to take it. I got it, you take it. Horalkova to the goal. Goes wide. Funt racing over there to get to it first for the U.S. Levin being harassed by Pototskova. Elbowing, penalty being called. Appears to be to the Czech Republic, number 18. Pavlina Horalkova. Two for elbowing.
Čas 36:55 z týmu České republiky, vyloučená hráčka s číslem 18, Pavlína Horálková, a vyvinutý foul content. Time serve is 6:55, penalty for player number 18, Pavlína Horálková, for Team Czech Republic, 2 minutes for elbow.
Wraparound attempt comes to the side of the goal, still bouncing around in front, players jabbing at it. Finally, Sikovska covers it up. Bouncing ball, Sikovska couldn't find it. It's down in there somewhere. Now she's got it. More. Bittler in around behind the goal. Bittler trying to follow up on it. Play it off the boards. The Czechs have it. They'll bring it out. Unherdova to center. More. Americans are changing. Bittler has it. Or Simpson, that is. Now it's Stewart. Knocked off her stick into the U.S. players' bench. They'll change it up. 7:54 gone, third period. 1 minute to go in the Czech penalty. Knocked down at the blue line by Messler. Reddington. Back to Simpson. Harrington. Stewart. Ball goes in behind the goal. On it first, Strohmeyer. Stewart trying to get it to the front of the goal. Crease violation against the U.S. Face-off will come outside the blue line. 29 seconds to go in the Czech penalty. Cleared out by the Czechs. 22 seconds to go in the penalty. Harrington behind her goal. Pass up at the blue line. They're trying to get it to Foley. Foley's got it now. Ball goes into the corner. Penalties over. Back to 5-on-5 for now. Collision down in the corner. U.S. get it out in front. It goes through the crease, comes out the other side. Pinching in was Mesler on the goal. Nemcheva up around the boards, taken by Horolkova. Cleared down the floor. Czechs will change up. Tipped in by Foley. Back to get it, Potachkova. Nemcheva out at center. Brought back in, Dobson. Dobson driving it in around behind the goal. He's watched by Frishova. And Hartova. They'll play it off the boards, trying to get it to Chokova. Potachkova, rather. Potachkova. Turning it around behind the U.S. goal. We'll leave it there. Ledleva left it behind the goal as they cycle it. Now they'll bring it out. Pribleva in front. It's taken by Pribleva. U.S. clear it down the floor. They're going to wave off the flooring with just 4.5 to go. 3-0, Czech lead. Shisheva, you see her skills. Shisheva behind the goal. Pribleva threw it out in front, nobody there. Thought Shisheva was going to cut into the slot area. U.S. cleared in, that went off the referee. U.S. still have it. Shot right to the side, great scoring chance. The ball is poked wide. That was Bittler with that great chance. U.S. come close, but it's still 3-0.
Vážení fanoušci, vyndejte si své kalendáře a poznamenejte si do svých telefonů. Čtvrtek 19:00, klíčové čtvrtfinále mužů České republiky. Přijďte všichni, uděláme chlapům pořádnou atmosféru.
Long shot, scramble in the crease. Still loose, whistle hasn't gone. Back of the point. Taken by Rulova, she lost it. 11. Stewart across the floor and a big collision there. Nemcheva down again as she and Simpson, both going for the ball, just ran into each other. Nemcheva's had a tough game. It's the third time she's been down. He's up now, walking around and heading to the bench. That's the third time this game she has been down and needed some attention. There's the shot which led to this scramble in front of the Czech goaltender, Zakovska. As I can say, as far as I could see there, the ball's still loose. Timeout has been called. Three to nothing. Czechs lead it. 3:35 left to go. So assuming at this point that the Czechs hold on, they'll move to 11 points. Canada will move to 9, defeating Italy today. Slovakia will have 7. Each team having played 4 games, with 1 game remaining each. USA will have 5 points with 1 game left, that against Great Britain tomorrow, 11:30 local time. U.S. don't get it out. Unheard of it. But just backhand it down deep again. U.S. throw it around the boards. Immediately covered by the Czechs. And the Czechs will come away with the ball. Ledlova. A shot off a leg, knocked down, bouncing out toward center. U.S. away. Stewart in behind the goal with Demiskova. Demiskova will clear it. He'll get by everybody. Down the floor, we'll get a whistle. 2 minutes, 7 seconds left to go.
Vážení fanoušci, dnešnímu utkání přihlíží 290 fanoušků. 290. Today's match presents our 290 fans. Thank you.
And it is a final next door. Canada's defeated Italy 4-1 in the other women's game.
2 minutes left in the third period.
That game ending a few minutes ago. They were ahead of this one. A little bit behind schedule here. If you missed it earlier, U.S. player Kayla McEwen injured towards the end of the second period, taken off in a stretcher, gave a thumbs up as she left. But it did lead to a lengthy delay. Lindsay Wild for the U.S. U.S. win the face-off off the boards. Out at center, kept in by Kazinova. Now Funt has it off the boards. Dobson with a shot. Save is made. The ball is loose for just a second. It's covered, but U.S. player is going to get a slashing penalty. I mean, that ball was loose for a second. It was Dixon who was chasing after it. Because she made contact with the goaltender's glove. Right here, you see the ball is loose, and Dixon says, okay, I can go get this. No, that whack was a little late. So she'll go 2 for slashing. Minute 16 to go in the game. The United States has called a timeout. Down by 3 and short a player. Two more games to go on our schedule this evening. Our next game, 7 o'clock, Italy, Portugal in the men's. Schedule for 7, that's 42 minutes from now, local time. And then the big game tonight, Canada, Slovakia, men's ball hockey, 9:30 local time, a late game here in Pardubice. We start at 9 o'clock this morning, first game. Final game will be 9:30 tonight. Full day. Czechs win the faceoff. To the boards. Potachkova. They'll throw it around. And Hardova trying to bring it out in front. The net has been dislodged off the line. They'll stop play. A minute 2 to go. Knocked down, not clear, a little slow to move it. Was Dobson, taken back by Batachkova, Horalkova, and Herdova, Shisheva, and Herdova. A couple of tries to get it through, blocked twice by Amber Moore. Shisheva back at the point, shot by Volkova. She scored once. Dobson. Time running down, just 15 seconds to go in the game. 3-0. The Czechs lead. And they'll just hold it there, let time run out. So a big victory for the Czech Republic. They remain undefeated at these championships. 4 games played, 3 regulation wins, 1 overtime win. They now have 11 points and lead the table. Next game, just 39 minutes from now. Men's ball hockey, Italy, Portugal. We'll be back for that one. For now, we say goodbye from Tipsport Arena in Pardubice in the Czech Republic. You're watching the 2017 ISBHF World Ball Hockey Championships. See you in 39 minutes.
Best player from the Czech Republic je hráčka s číslem 17, is player number 17, Veronika Volková! Dámy a pánové, vážení fanoušci, prosím, povstaňte, vyslechněme národní hymnu České republiky. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of winning team, the Czech Republic. Vážení fanoušci, všem vám srdečně děkujeme, že jste dnes přišli na utkání žen mezi Českou republikou a Spojenými státy americkými. A dovolte, abych vás pozval, již na zítra, tedy na středu, kdy od 19 hodin se opět ženy utkají se silným výběrem Kanady. Budeme potřebovat co nejlepší kurzu, takže já pevně věřím, že se potkáme minimálně ve 2- až 3násobném počtu jako dnes. No a ta druhá pozvánka, ta je ještě důležitější a týká se čtvrtka od 19:00, totiž